Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today I've started a bit later than usual. It's about midday. Usually I start quite early in the morning, but this morning it was hammering it down. I would have got drenched. The bees would have got drenched. No one would have been happy. I would have got stung. And I decided, you know what? Let's spend the morning with my daughter, and then when she goes for a nap, I'll go out with the bees. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got a few things that I want to talk about before I go into my inspections. Generally, it's just due to some comments or some messages that I've received. One of the messages I've had is, why do you always look so greasy and disgusting on your videos? First of all, thank you. Second of all, it's because I don't shower before I come out to the bees, and I always record these videos before I go into the bees. I very rarely ever record these intros after the fact, so this is how I go into beekeeping, greasy as hell. There's two reasons for this, really. Well, three reasons. One, I'm an absolute mess, but the other two reasons are that bees are attracted to some shampoos and some shower gels, so it's much better to just have your normal, natural musk. God knows why. So that's also one reason why I do it. Another reason is, after beekeeping, I stink to high heaven of sweat and of smoke, so I save it until after I finish with the bees to have a shower. So there you go, there's a tip. If you're going to do your bees, make sure you stink. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, I made a video 2 days ago about where all our insects are. I've had quite a lot of people getting in touch about that as well. What I'll talk about really is why we don't see as many insects at this time of year, or just in general, really. In short, it's because of loss of habitat and global warming. We can't really do anything about global warming. That is a problem for the governments to ignore. But what we can do is help with habitat. So what I've been doing is I've been planting trees, flowering plants, just willy-nilly around my village. It's not my idea. It's called guerrilla gardening, and it's been going on for ages, but I've just joined in. But I'd highly recommend that you guys do it as well. To promote this guerrilla gardening, I actually sell wildflower seeds, really high quality wildflower seeds with very little fillers in it, so they don't have any grass seeds or barley seeds or anything like that in it. Things that naturally occur in the grass anyway. These are pure wildflower seeds that I get from a farmer down in Essex who ethically grows his wildflower seeds. I sell them for £3.50, and I think about out of that is about 10p profit, 5p, 10p profit. I want to make sure that you guys can get the best quality wildflower seeds for as little money as possible, because I really want to get as many people out there, especially around Rainford, because that affects me most. I want people to get out there, plant these wildflower seeds. Just go around, scatter them. It doesn't take that much time at all, and it gets you outside walking, which is, you know, a benefit for all of us and for you. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I want to get my suit on, I want to get the smoker lit, and I'm going to go do some inspections. This week should, touch wood, be easy as pie. Should just be a load of inspections, and that's it. I should be able to go home super fast. There shouldn't be any swarming, shouldn't be any problems whatsoever. And I'll have to see if that's true. Anyway, I'll get my suit on. Let's get cracking. Right. First port of call is this one. Last week I found out it was a drone layer, and I couldn't find the queen for the life of me. Bees are still here. I need to find this queen this time, or this colony may end up just dying out. It's a shame. Watch out. So I've noticed that there's been signs of robbing at this apiary, which is a bit worrying because I've got a lot of weak nucleus colonies with queens that I am trying to get mated. So I'm a bit worried, because if those colonies have been robbed out, then those queens won't have been able to emerge or get mated or anything like that, and those colonies might have died. So I'm going to try my best to see what I can do, see if I can salvage the situation. So you're not supposed to go into colonies, nucleus colonies, when you're making queens, but just because of the robbing, I might just go and see what's going on. Just see if I can, like, go in a few and see if there's anything I can do. Right, queen. I think I might just have to shake this one out. Sadly. I can't find her anywhere. Dear me. It's been really cold and wet the past few days. So that's probably what sparked the robbing. So signs of robbing. If you see a bunch of dead bees out the front of some of your colonies, especially the weaker ones, generally it means that some bees have been trying to get in, have been killed trying to get in. Another thing is you'll see some of the wax cappings on the front of the hive. This is because when bees are robbing out, they just grab what they can get and leg it. Sometimes that means that they've got wax cappings on top of themselves when they're coming out, so it's usually a good sign if you, well, it's not a good sign, it's a terrible sign if you see some wax cappings on the front. So this queen has produced some worker cells actually, so it's not all drone laying, but just judging from the pattern and judging from the state of the bees, it's not great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake these out. I can't waste too much time on them. I've got other things I need to do, so I'll go find another colony and shake them out in front of it. Look, which one needs thingy? That one over there, probably. Right. So this colony is a swarm that made its home in some of my empty equipment. I don't know if you remember those videos, if you've seen them, so I'm going to be tossing them into there, because if you look inside, they aren't particularly strong, so they could do with a little boost. Their queen isn't sparkling either, to be honest. I'm just going to put that queen excluder there, so the bees have somewhere to walk on to get to the new home. And also, I want to reduce this entrance as well if I can, just because with an influx of bees, sometimes you can get some fighting, and I don't want to cause any more issues than needed. Interesting. Right, so the only entrance in is that small 2 centimetre slot there, so the bees should have a pretty decent area to defend now. So, right, I'm going to toss these out now. Come on. So I hate shaking up bees. Always feels like a waste. But sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, because sometimes queens are just too small. You just can't see them. And if you look at that, it's mostly a drone laying queen, this one, so these bees need to go in there and bolster an actual laying queen that's worker brood. Remember, if you're going to brush them with your fingernails. It's not how I wanted to start the day, but never mind. So those bees will start to make their way into the hive soon. They're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on first. So as you can see, they're making their way into the entrance of the hive there now. What'll happen is some bees will make it in. The guards will go, hang on, who's this? Then an alert will sound, and the bees inside the colony I'll run to the entrance and just start only allowing bees in that are willing to take on the queen. And any queen that's out here, or any laying workers, or any bees with disease or anything, which I don't think there are any, will be either kept outside, defend on their own, or they will be gotten rid of. So there is another entrance to a hive here, and that's to my breeder queen, which is next door. But fortunately, they seem to be going to the one I want them to go to. So as you can see, they've got to the entrance there. Come on, out you go. There we go. And we'll come back in, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and the majority of the bees will actually be inside that hive. There you go, you can see them making the way in right here. That's where the entrance is, right there. Going in. All these bees from all around here are starting to move in that way. So they'll go inside that hive and become part of the colony. You can actually see all the foragers coming from their foraging run, flying around going, "Oi, who's put all these bees in the way?" I'll give them about 10-15 minutes or so and start filming again. You'll see how much that'll have reduced by quite a lot. Right on to the next ones. So back to the family favourite. Oh, the angry hive. So last week I took a lot of brood, virtually all of the brood from this, and all of the nurse bees. So all that should have been left in this bottom box were some empty frames of honeycomb, the queen, and the flying foraging bees. So in essence, she should have thought, right, we've managed to swarm. All the flying bees will be like, whoa, look at all this room, look at all this space. We've got so much room to lay in, for the queen to lay in, to store food in, stuff like that. And they should have lost that swarm response as well. Now, me saying that, will that be true or not? We'll see. That should be the case, according to the books. And as a lot of beekeepers know, bees don't read books. But yeah. So I'll try. Have a look. So I ended up putting another super on because I wanted this super to start getting cleaned up. And judging from here, there's not many bees up in here yet, so they've got enough on the plate, it seems. That's fine. I can't imagine having that much trouble from this hive anymore. So they have started kind of cleaning it. They've started chewing all the old wax off, and that's why it's got a load of holes in it. So they have started work on it. They're not working hard on it. There's not a lot of bees here, but they are working on it a bit. Right, let's take that off. Ooh. This is where all the honey is. Had some brood in here, not a lot. Mostly just honey now. What I will have to do is I will have to go through this after I've done the bottom box and just check for queen cells, because there was a bit of brood in here and there are some extra levels away from where the queen is, so the bees may come up here and go, oh, we can't smell the queen anymore, I'm going to make some queen cells. So there may be some queen cells in here. I doubt it, but we'll see. So I'll take that off. Where's my hive tool? There it is. Whoa, that's heavy. Heavy with honey. This was just some empty boxes I put on. I've not started doing anything with these. Clean them up a bit. but they're not going to be storing much honey in these yet. I've got a whole bottom box that they can do stuff with now, so they've got loads of space, these bees. Oh, they have actually started storing some nectar in. That's interesting. So they have actually started storing some nectar in here. That's good. I shouldn't have to check these, to be fair, because there shouldn't be anything in them. It's just nectar. That's cool. Good on you, girls. Just having a look, seeing what's going on over here, because there seems to be more bees on that side than on this side. If there's honey and stuff like that on this side, then there must be some stuff on this side. This is where I get stung. Lift you up gently. Have a look. What's going on? Yeah, we've got. I forgot. I had some brood left over from the bottom box, so I put the some leftover brood frames in this top box here. That's why there's bees here, because they're huddling to keep the brood warm. I'll go through that again properly when I've finished with the bottom box. I want to see what this queen's up to in a fresh box, or rather in an empty box full of empty comb. So in a week, I don't think the queen will have laid up this box unless she's on overdrive. Doesn't seem to have enough bees down here to have laid up the whole box. Ah, you little flipper. There goes sting number 1 anyway. Right, ow. Shake you in here. Come, down you go. The queen there? No. Oh, that really hurt. Ow. Oh, right in the wrist. Yep. There's another one in here. What are you doing? Go away. Right. Ooh. Spicy hive. Spicy. Right. So they're not doing anything with this frame. There's barely any bees on it. They've got loads of room in this box, so we don't have to worry about them wanting to swarm, I don't think. So the 3 things that we look for are brood, food, and space. Space-wise, they've got loads. Got a whole super that they're not touching. They've got another box that's virtually empty, and the bottom box is virtually empty as well. So let's have a quick look and see what it's like. See if the queen has laid up at all. She should have. So this is a nectar frame. What's it? I've misplaced my torch. I don't know where I've put it. It's in the car somewhere, but I can't find the thing. Do you mind? Please stop trying to sting my fingers. The problem with it being a hive full of flying bees is that all the bees that you meet are the grumpy ones. Am I going to have to smoke you? Really? It's mad, really, because it looks like the nectar flow that we had has stopped. We've had a horrible spate of rain and cold. I'm worried that all the flowers have just gone in or died. If that's the case, then we're knackered. But if you look here, we've got some fresh comb here on that foundation. So I'm going to shake these bees off just so you can see a bit easier. So look, so they've started producing this comb. There must be enough nectar in the area for them to draw this out. And it's keeping them entertained and busy, so the last thing you want to do is have bored bees. So that's when they start producing swarm cells. Right, let's look at you. So we have lots of eggs, so this whole frame is laid up. So that's good. Means I didn't shake the queen out by accident, which is always a possibility. But this whole frame is laid up. That's cool. And there's some larvae over here. Drone larvae, but still larvae all the same. Still can't find this bloody queen. I found her once, marked her, and I've not seen her since. But to be fair, like, look how many bees are there. Chance of me finding her there, slim. Let's just have a look. So they've cleaned up these frames, so the end of this comb is very light, so it means that they've done some cleaning on here. This whole frame is laid up. It's got loads of larvae as well. It's really good. As I keep saying, this queen's a beaut. It's just angry bees. Do not like angry bees. So I will be replacing her when my queens have emerged and have got mated. Just a quick shake. It's been laid up as well. Every single cell of this has been laid up. So she started, it looks like she started from this end and worked her way across. Yeah, don't think I need to see any more of this. This queen is excellent, just grumpy, which I don't like. But, you know what, she's doing alright. In a couple of weeks, this colony will be massive again. Especially if she lays up every single frame like she's doing now. So she's about here, laid up about here. There's 5 frames of brood already. She's probably going to start cracking onto these, and by the time she gets to over here, these will have started to emerge, so she'll be going back all the way over there again. Right, let's smoke these down and put the queen excluder on, and we'll check the other boxes for queen cells. But I think we've managed to get rid of the swarm response out of these guys. It's good. Come on, watch yourself, guys. Ciao. Boop, 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 boop. Come on. Remember, just do like little wiggles, little vibrations to sort of nudge them in the right way. Oh, this is the one that I want to check. Watch out, you. I'll get the other one on as well, so I don't get any bees in the middle. Oh! Come on, out of the way. And you. There we go. So this has some frames of nectar and honey in. I'll check this box as well. We'll have a look. Now there's not going to be any eggs in here. That's freshly made. That's cool. So this is probably just going to be the remnants of whatever brood I left in here, and honey. And you know what? That's exactly what it is. Alright, this is a big frame of brood, so I'll ship these off. And there we are, as you can see. Got queen cells here. So this is what I was on about. So this had brood in it. The queen's down here. She's not started, well, she hadn't started laying up straight away. So the bees saw this brood and they went, oh, we should make a queen cell, because they weren't getting the pheromone from all the brood. So that's what they've done. Just have to get rid of these. And that, kids, is why we check, even when we're quietly confident. Look at all them. Jeez. Good frame of brood, though. So we've seen eggs down in the bottom, so it means that the queen hasn't swarmed, even though these cells are capped. Usually the swarm goes off when queen cells are capped, and these are capped and the queen is still here. So that to me makes me think that the bees have done these as sort of supersedure cells or emergency cells because they weren't aware of the queen. I'm going to be putting this in. Check for more queen cells, no queen cells. Plunk it in, have a look at the other ones. This is the one I looked at before. No queen cells there. Last one. No, just nectar. There you are. Alright, so we've checked that. It's good. Found some queen cells that we've knocked down. I think this colony is pretty chill now. I'll go through this super, just because it also had some brood in. I don't want to miss any queen cells. Didn't have a lot of brood in, but all you need is one queen cell to cause trouble. Look at the cappings on that. That is some stunning honey. Shame I can't use it. Right. So here we've got a load of drone brood. So as I always say, look at drone brood because it's always higgledy-piggledy, so it means that it's very easy for the bees to hide a queen cell amongst them. Like we have there. There's one here. So as you can see, drone cells and what's this down here? A hidden queen cell. So we're gonna have to get rid of that, fortunately. So that's that gone. But see how easy it was for us to miss that. So always pay close attention to drone brood cells. Right, shake you off. This is just honey. Tiny bit of drone brood, like maybe 5-6 cells. Keep looking. Honey. 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 These frames are really heavy, by the way. Just honey and honey. Let's move you to the side here. Some drone brood in the middle, but the rest of it is honey. Drone brood again in the corner there. The rest of it is stunning looking honey. So that drone brood there is all stuck together, so I'm just having a look to see, because that would be the perfect place to hide a queen cell. I'll see one though. So the way to tell a queen cell is its orientation. So in situations like that, if the cell that you're looking at is pointing downwards, it's probably a queen cell, or it could be a drone cell and they've just got the orientation wrong. Either way, it's probably best to destroy it. Yeah, all that's left in here now are drone cells. All the worker cells have emerged. All the larvae has been turned into capped cells. But yeah, this hive's sorted. Don't have to worry about it right now. Ooh, give it another check next week, but until then, I think they're fine. Hopefully by then some of that brood will have become capped, and some of it may have even emerged. And we can start filling up these boxes again for the next round of queen rearing. Right, next. So these are 2 nucs that I made last week. So by now the queen should have emerged. Generally it's not a good idea to check nuc boxes and stuff like that when there's a recently emerged queen in there. Sometimes they can ball them and stuff, but I've seen signs of robbing over there. So I'm just going to open them up and just see what it's looking like inside. If there's bees running around, stuff like that, we can close it up, there's no problem whatsoever. If there's not, then we may have an issue. So lift this up. As you can see, there's a frame of bees there. They're milling around, but it's okay, that's fine. There's some bees to look after the queen. That queen cell is there. And the bees aren't near the queen cell, so that's a bit worrying. So we'll see if it's emerged or not. Of course, the plastic caps. Alright, let's have a look. Oops, sorry. So the cap should be empty at the bottom. Yeah, so that queen, can you see that? That queen's emerged. You can see because it's a perfectly cut circle around the bottom. If it was torn down, it'd be cut into the middle there. So inside this colony is a queen running about. She's probably just gathering enough energy, and then she'll go off on a mating flight. There's enough bees in there to keep her warm, and there's some brood in there as well, so that's good. So am I okay with that one? All good. That's good. Let's open this one. Ah, crap. So this nuke box is devoid of life. Looks like the queen had emerged. At the bottom there. But all these bees have died. Lovely frame of brood there as well, but that's probably chilled now, fortunately. Another frame of brood. Stunning frame of brood as well. That is upsetting, and there's a big pile of dead bees on the bottom. So the only thing I can think of for this one is that I didn't provide them enough food. They are bone dry, so I mustn't have provided this nuke with enough food, and they've starved. Oh, that's a shame. Silly Greg. It's easy to do though. Crap. So it's for more. This is the queen rearing nuke. So this is the nuke I used to rear those queen cells. This should be, yeah, so this is popping. There's loads of bees in there. Yeah. They should be happy as Larry. They've got a queen now, so they don't have to produce any more queens. They've done their job for me for now. I'll use another colony to produce more queens. I don't like to overuse a set of bees, or rather a colony of bees to produce queens, because I feel like it's just a lot of strain and a lot of stress for them to deal with. So I quite like the idea of making sure that they get a queen and they can look after her and they can actually be a good healthy colony, because they've done me a good job. If they've produced me 10 queens, whatever like that, then they've done me a really good job there. So I'm happy with these guys. They're good guys. Right, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, there's bees milling about in here. It's not a huge colony, but it's fine. Right, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, this one's really strong. This has got a lot of bees running around. That's good. I'm happy with that one. And this one's still alive. It is still going. It's got 2 seams of bees running around. So they are still going. That's fine. They are particularly weak though, so that's not great, but they are still alive, so that's good. That's positive. So this is a mated queen already, so I gave her a new brood box just because she was starting to fill up that bottom one. Oh. And they've started filling this up with nectar and honey. That's good. She's not going to want to swarm. Ooh. Alright, so this is a nuke. This is one of the first nukes that I built. So this probably has a queen that emerged 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I left the queen cell in there by accident. As you can see there, the queen emerged correctly. Perfect circle on the end, no circles on the side. So that queen emerged well. She's in here somewhere. Now, it's actually been 2 weeks since this queen's emerged. This was the first lot of queen rearing that I did, where I only actually managed to get 4 out of 17 queens to be produced. But that was a whole issue with, there was more brood in that box. But anyway, that's not for now. So what I might do is I'm just going to do a quick look and see if I can see the queen in here. I'm going to try and do it so I'm not in the way of the video. So this is a foundation frame that it seems like I've dropped because it's got a hole in it. Oops. Check for the queen, shake them off. This colony is not quite there. for selling. So if the queen is laying, it's not there yet. I usually wait for 2-3 weeks before I'm happy to sell a queen or a nuke after she's come back and been mated. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking for the queen first of all, and I'm seeing if I can see any eggs. I can't see any eggs yet, but again, I've not got my torch on me, so it's really dull here in this apiary. It's getting snugged to death. Yeah. So the queen should lay this one up, because this is the middle of the brood area. So if she's here, she should be laying this one up. Can't see any eggs yet. That's nothing to worry about. It's been really crap weather recently, so she might not have got out to get mated yet. I'll check one more frame and then I'll close this up. I can't see anything. There could be eggs there, but I might just not be able to see them because it's very dark and dull. Yeah. So I can't see anything yet. That's fine. You only have to worry really when it's been 3 weeks after emerging, because that's when they are no longer able to mate. So I'll just close this up and leave them to it for another week. There's no rush. So this is a nucleus colony that someone has ordered off me. So this isn't my nuke box, this is his. This is Paul's nuke box. Paul is an absolutely smashing guy. Hello Paul, if you're watching. I don't know if you do. But he's ordered off me in essence, half a nuke box. He wanted a virgin queen, which she has now emerged, this queen. So there will be a virgin queen in here. He likes his experimentation, Paul. He likes to try new things. So I really quite like him and his style, because it's how I like to play with my bees. I like to see what they get up to. Now, I think this is probably going to be a mated queen by now, unless she's like the one in here, just because I kind of made this up a few weeks ago, and to be honest, one thing has led to another and I kind of forgot about it. He did want a virgin queen, but this is probably going to be a mated queen by this point, but we agreed on a price, so I'm going to stick to that price, even if it is a mated queen and she's happy and healthy. Ooh, come on. So first of all, let's see if this queen emerged okay. Ah! Bees. Yeah, so that queen has emerged perfectly fine. Come on, away. Now these bees are not this queen's bees, so these are, I think they're from the spicy queen over there. So this queen has emerged perfectly fine. As you can see, there's a hole at the top, not the sides. Oh! It really doesn't take long for a nucleus colony to outgrow their box when they've got a really good queen. So, need to be very careful with this one, because the queens are produced from this from the breeder queen last year. They were absolutely excellent. Lovely. Last one, and I'll close you up again, just to see. No good. No, can't see the queen. I can't see any eggs yet. Again, there could be eggs there, and I just can't see because it's very dark. But I'll close this up. Tell you what, let's put you in the middle there, so it means that you get messed with sooner. Right. Okay. So I really quite like these Abello Nucs. They're quite good. They've got a lip on them, which stops them from moving about. I think they're better than the actual Abello hives in build quality, really. But they're pretty good. It's a shame that they cost God knows how much. Like, they're really expensive, these nuke boxes. Really, really expensive. Like, Maze-Maw apiary nuke boxes are expensive. When I first started beekeeping, these nuke boxes, these ones here, these Maze-Maw ones, they only cost 40 quid. And now they're like 70. It's ridiculous. Right, so this is a BS honey nuke. So I had 2 queens that I needed to house, and I didn't have enough nukes, so I did this one instead. The benefit of this one is that there's a divider in the middle, so you can have 2 separate nuke boxes. Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, so both sides have bees in them. They're only 3 frame nukes, but that's all they need. But they're absolutely jam-packed with bees. There's lots of food I can see. Yep, so I'm just going to close it up. Those queens won't have been out and mated yet. Let's have a look at these ones. So just to reiterate, when you make up these nukes, it's best not to check on them. It's best just to leave them. The only reason I'm doing this is because I've seen signs of robbing. That's a okay nuke. It's got some bees in it. It's not huge, but it will get huge. Once the queen gets mated, it won't take long for this nuke to fill up. That's looking okay. That's fine. As you can see, I'm not doing a lot. I'm just opening it up, making sure there's bees running around, closing it up. It's fine. Yeah, there's bees in there. It's good. Bees milling around in there. Okay, so that's 1 colony out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's not too bad. I've got 2 more colonies over here that I'll just do a quick check on. So we've got this nucleus box. Crap. So this is another dead one. Bother. So that is signs of dysentery. So that means that they couldn't get out to poo, probably because they were being attacked or because it was raining hard. So it means that that's what happened with this, unfortunately. So that's why it's looking particularly gross. I'm going to check it for disease just to make sure. There shouldn't be any disease. Oh, because I checked the colony it came from beforehand. Okay, so that's another telltale sign of starvation. So you can see that. So starvation or robbing, that is, because as you can see, this has been torn into. This is them trying to cannibalize the young to try and get some nutrients and keep themselves alive. There's a big pile of dead bees in the bottom. Oh, that's upsetting. Some good frames of brood as well. The queen had managed to emerge. So that's really upsetting. And there's a big pile of dead bees in the bottom again. But yeah, right, so there's another sign of starvation. So if you see the bees' bums sticking out the cells like that, that's another sign of starvation. Yeah, that's upsetting. So that means I didn't give this nuke enough food. That's upsetting. Okay. Oh, that's sad. I hate that. Oh dear. Won't make that mistake again. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to close this off and move it over there. I'll deal with it. Oh, in a bit. These frames will need to be taken out and cleaned. Right, and this is the apidae that I had made with the final queen. Just bring it a bit close so you can see a bit easier. So, every day should be doing okay. I told you about the issue with this feeder in that bees fall in, so they've put a load of sticks in. Now, there doesn't look like a lot of bees, but there are some bees. There's a seam of bees right here. So I'm just going to have a quick nosy, just have a look. So what's probably happened with this one... Ooh, these bees aren't happy with me. So the queen's emerged. So this is one that I had to do some surgery on to get the queen out. But as you can see there, it's actually emerged. She's actually emerged quite well. So that's good. Shake the bees off. Go on, away. So far, every queen that I've put out has emerged. And there she is. That's the queen there. Can you see her? So this is a virgin queen. You can see she's slightly bigger than the other ones, but she's not fully engorged yet. So she is getting to the stage now where she's trying to build up her flight muscles. She's trying to build up some stores, just so she can, and like fats, just so she can go out and do mating flight. I'm going to take this away, just because the bees don't seem to be using it. So some of these with the Apidae ones, especially the cheap Chinese ones, some of these are too small. So it means that the bees can't get through. The reason why you put this queen excluder on here is because it stops the queen from getting in and getting stuck in there and drowning. But hopefully there's enough twigs and stuff like that in here that'll stop them from doing that anyway. So we'll see. I have noticed that there's not a lot of food in those cells, so I'm just going to do a little dibble. Like that. And just spread a bit of sugar syrup there. So hopefully the bees will be able to get a bit more energy and come and investigate. And just plonk that there. So okay, so that's still going. It's not as strong as I want it to be, but it is still going. There's bees in there, and I saw the queen. She's okay. There we go. But yeah, every single queen that I've put in one of these hives has emerged successfully, so that's a positive. So I've got a lot of my bees and a lot of brood and stuff like that from this colony. So I can't imagine it wanting to swarm, but I did reduce the space down by a hell of a lot. So I'm just going to have a quick look. She ended up having completely empty frames in the bottom box, so she should be busy doing that. This box is full of honey. So the benefit of what I've done, taking the brood and the food and stuff like that out of here, as well as some of the nurse bees, is that this colony now is a lot smaller than it was. Is that the queen? I've just seen the queen. No, I haven't. Just for your information, this is some of my foundationless frames. Hang on. So I got this from a blog producer called The Apiarist, I think it's called. It makes amazing blogs, really good beekeeping blogs. And he came up with this idea to make these foundationless frames. So you use like a tongue depressor there and skewers going down here, bamboo skewers. And in essence, you do that, and what happens is the bees draw out their comb in these rectangles, and then they join them all together. And a lot of the time, they draw out a lot of drone brood, so it's a good way of getting rid of a lot of drones. And the varroa that's usually in there as well, all in one go. So you can just cut out the rectangle, which is what I've done here, and put that on a bird feeder. And that's exactly what I've done here, and as you can see, they've already started drawing it out again. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Done a good job. That's right, let's shake you off again. So yeah, this queen has produced a lot of brood for my Nucs, and a lot of food for them as well. So she doesn't owe me anything. Yeah, she doesn't owe me anything. This is full of eggs. And this is a foundation frame that I put in there. So these bees have drawn this out and she's already started laying in it. She's a great queen, this one. Really is a good queen. She's a year old. So I can't really... Well, I can use her in my production hives. Ah! Oh! Get out. Get off. That was my fault then. I moved too quick. What you'll find is when you get stung somewhere, the bees will automatically be attracted to wherever you just got stung. That's because of the pheromones. So what you should do is make sure you smoke that area really well. The hot smoke also helps as well, I find. Right. Give you a bit of a puff to calm you down. Knock it off. Keep you there. I'm going to get smoked myself, but it's fine. So yeah, this frame's completely laid up as well, and this is a new frame as well. So these bees have done an amazing job. And this queen is doing a great job as well. Oh, there she is. There she is. There's the queen. Don't know if you can see that actually. So I'll bring her close. Why not? Let's try this for once. Can you see her right there? There's the queen. You can see the difference between her and the virgin queen you saw before. She's much more elongated and she's much more juicy, as I like to put it. There's a bee giving her a bit of food. And she's going to crack on again. So I'm going to leave her to it. So this queen is excellent. I'm really happy with this queen. She's a year old, so I don't like to use queens that are a year old in my production colonies, just because when left alone and unchecked, older queens can be a bit more swarmy than younger queens. This queen has not tried to swarm yet. She's done a really good job. What I might do is I might possibly try and breed from her, because she's done a really good job of... Just bear with me a second, sorry. So she's not particularly swarmy. She's done a pretty good job of producing a lot of brood. So I'm not going to see her off. I think what I'll do is I'll try and breed from her maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I've already got another queen in mind to be my new breeder queen. These bees are doing amazing. They've got a frame. They've got a box full of honey. And they've got a box that she is filling happily with some brood. They've drawn out any comb that's in there as well. So I reckon next week I might have to give her another box. But she's doing great. Oh, my wrist is really hurting from that sting. Oi, oi, oi. So today's going pretty easy, really. It's not usually like this. I've got 2 dead colonies, which I'm not too happy about. I'm not happy about at all, because that was my fault, both of them. Poor girls. But other than that, all my other colonies seem to be doing really well. All of the queens that I've produced have emerged. So hopefully in the next few weeks we can get a bit of sunshine. We can go out and mate with some lucky drones. I stole a lot of brood and stuff like that from these 2 colonies as well. It's what they're here for. Didn't steal any bees from them though, just because all I needed was the brood, really. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but that is absolutely jam-packed with honey. That's really cool. That's what we want to see. I'll lift this up as well, have a look. Building some weird-ass comb there. It's not too much of a problem right now. I will shake the bees off, and I'll take that back to foundation. So if you ever get it like this, the bees sometimes get a bit confused when there's a lot of space next to a frame. So if you've got a box full of foundation, you'll get this quite a bit as well. So all you need to do is rip it off, down to foundation, and tell them to start again. And eventually they'll start getting the hang of it. Oh, stop it. There's a bee trying to sting my hand. Hang on. Remember, smoke yourself. It's easier than smoking the bees. You don't fly around. And it'll still have the same effect. So that is an amazing frame of brood. Look at that. Wow-wee. Woof. That's awesome. You know what? I think the one next to it is also an amazing frame of brood. Look at that. Good frames of capped brood here. That's good. Oh, now we're seeing something here. So this here is a queen cup. I'm going to open it up and see if there's any eggs in. No, there's not. So the difference between a queen cup and a queen cell is that it has eggs or larvae in it. If it doesn't have eggs or larvae in it, then it is just a queen cup, and it's them usually protesting or just practicing. It's not always something to worry about, but if you do see them in a colony, then just have a look around and make a decision to see if you can figure out if there's something that they're complaining about. Full of eggs and honey. It's a weird one. Foundation, and then these are just empty frames. So they are cleaning up. As you can see, they've taken this back to foundation here, and they're just going to start building it up again. They're just chewing it down right now. Okay, so this colony's fine. I saw a lot of eggs in this frame. So this colony's happy. Don't see the point in going into the bottom box. Got loads of food, loads of brood. Again, when you make these decisions, it is your own fault if they swarm. So if this colony swarms and I lose half the bees, then it's my own fault. I need to make that decision, which I have done. If you only have, say, 1 or 2 colonies, then it makes sense for you just to check them more thoroughly if you can. But because I've got so many and I need to go through them as fast as I can, as someone mentioned, probably have too many colonies for my own good. I have to make these decisions sometimes, these quick snap decisions of, I think they're fine, I don't think they're going to swarm, I think I should just crack on, which is what I'm doing now. So the entrance is over here. I've made that mistake before, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand to the side. So I gave these guys a super to start cleaning because they were getting a bit pesky, and they've cleaned it up and they've started filling it already. Wow-wee. So these guys are pretty good. I don't think I took anything from these guys last time. The queen's been up here. There's loads of drone brood in this bit here, this wiggly bit here. I'm going to leave it for now. It's not going to cause any issues right now. But it's full of honey, this super. That's awesome. Now, I keep having to tell you guys. I don't have to tell you, but I'll keep telling you guys. I'm not expecting honey from any colony at this queen rearing area. Any honey that I get from here is a pure fluke, and it's completely and utterly not what I'm trying to get from them. These guys, just get rid of these slugs. These guys are purely here to produce bees and brood for me. Now, these are foundation frames, so I'm just going to put 24 on, because that's the year that I've produced these. Go away, bees. It's always good to keep a note of how old your frames are, and if you used any treatments on them as well. That's full of honey. We're looking for some eggs. That's what we're looking for. Oh, the queen. So they've got loads of brood here. So there's cat brood there, as you can see. There's cat brood on the other side, but it looks like that's freshly emerged, mostly. Whoa. This here is... I can't see anything because the sun's just gone in. Can't see any brood there. Doesn't mean it's not there, just means I can't see it. Because it's dark. Put this back in. So the reason that there's foundation here is because I did steal some frames from this one. I was wrong. I swapped these out with some frames to go into the colony over there. Don't think I stole that many bees though. So this is a good frame of brood. That capped brood. If I can see some eggs. Yeah, I can see some eggs. Cool. So I'm happy with that. not seeing any queen cells or anything like that at the moment. This was a foundation frame, but as you can see, they've already drawn it out completely. The queen's already laid in it as well, so there's loads of eggs in this. Wow, loads of eggs. Might be on this frame actually. Those are brand new eggs. So you can tell the difference between fresh eggs and day-old eggs. It's because fresh eggs are like that. If they're a day old, they're at an angle. If they're older eggs that are going to turn into larvae soon, they're flat. And all of those eggs were pointing right up. So it means that the queen has only just laid them, really, in the past day. That's pretty cool. But I'm not going to bother with the bottom one. Same as the other one. I can't imagine them wanting to swarm. Got loads of room. Got loads of stuff to do. Got loads of foundation frames. Ooh, and they've got honey super as well, which they're filling up with honey. So everything really is pretty good. I think they're quite happy. They're healthy. The frames, the cappings were healthy. Yeah, I think these guys are happy to carry on. Right, next. This is my breeder queen. This colony, 2 years ago, was phenomenal. She's 2 years old now, I think. A year or 2 years old, and she's getting on a bit. So she's slowed down quite a lot. So this is, I've not really taken anything from this hive, and they're only on 2 boxes right now. So let's get rid of that slug. So she's not great, but she's getting on. I reckon this winter she'll end up becoming drone laying, which is why I like to replace my breeder queens after a year or so. I'm not going to bother going into the bottom one, just because they're in the top and I can usually get a good indicator. Top. So she's not actually filling up the box. So down here, there's 2-3 seams where there's no bees at all. So she hasn't filled these 2 boxes yet. So there's space in here is what I'm getting at. I can see that there's food already. Yeah. So they're putting some food here, nectar in here. So this queen has probably generated about 100 queens for me in the past year or so. So she's done a duty. She's done a really good job. She also, in the year when she was actually in a production hive, she produced 5 supers of honey. And to me, that's a pretty good job. I had Buckfast and Carniolans at the time, and they weren't producing half as much as that. So that's why she's my breeder queen and they aren't. Oh, that's a heavy one. That's got food all around the outside. Lots of food. Larvae, eggs. So larvae all in the middle. Let's have a look, see if I can show you. Just check if the queen's on here first, because I don't want to get rid of her or hurt her. Right, so I've got some eggs here. You see little grains of rice there. And then slowly as you work around, the larvae get bigger and bigger until you get to the center, where she started to cap the bees there. That's pretty cool. So that's how the queen tends to go. She goes in the middle and then works her way out. And this is just full of capped brood with some larvae in the outside and some eggs on the outside as well. So that's pretty cool. That's a good little frame to show you anyway. Don't slip. I really need to get some grip stuff on this wood. Oh, I never thought it'd be so slippy. So this is one of those frames. So this is one of the frames I showed over there, where it was a foundationless frame. You can just about make out the skewer there, as you can see. Right there, going down. So, as you can see here, so these cells are really big. These are really wide cells. These are drone brood cells. And what will happen is, at some point, the queen will lay up all of these cells. And then all I need to do is get a knife and just whoosh, and then throw that to the pheasants over there. They'll get a happy meal, and they'll get some larvae, and they will also get some varroa sides as well. So I really recommend building a few of those frames. Maybe put one in each colony, like I did at first. I lost track of them after a while, and I think I've given a few of them to people in nucleus colonies, because I certainly don't have the same amount as I used to. God, this queen's great. This is all laid up as well. Now, there are some... See if you can see them. So I've got some queen cups here. Here, and here. I'm just checking that they are queen cups. The older a queen gets, the more likely she'll want to swarm. So if she's 2 years old, it'll take less to make a queen swarm than a 1-year-old. So just be... Oh, this is all laid up as well. So just be careful if you're dealing with an old queen. Because sometimes these queen cells here, these queen cups here, are the bees saying she's getting on. We need to supersede her. We need to get her. Need to get a new queen because this one's getting old and doddery, and she keeps putting the TV remote in the fridge and all that sort of stuff. This is full of larvae, so she's still doing a pretty good job. I'm pretty proud of her. She's done me well. What I might do is I might offer her up to someone else for free. I recently did that, and I had 3 takers for queens, and they all seem to be quite happy with the queens that they've got, so that's good. Let's close this up. I'm happy with this queen. She's done a good job. She's still filling it up with larvae, and they've got enough food. I've seen eggs. I'm happy with that. Right, it's been about an hour or so, and as you can see, the bees have all mostly shifted in to the actual hive now. There's still some on the outside, but if you look carefully at the entrance, you'll see that they are making their way in. They're just getting checked first. It's like passport control. They're getting checked, making sure that there's no queens there, there's no laying workers or anything like that. But yeah, they're being looked after. But these guys are going to be happy in this new home. I'm not going to check this colony just because I don't want to give them any reason to kick these bees out. They might think that it's their fault that they're being inspected. So I'm going to leave this colony for now. I did inspect it the other day, and it was barely filling half the hive, so they've got room. Anyway, right, to the next apiary. So this apiary is starting to turn into another jungle again, so that's fun. So 2 weeks ago I gave these guys another box because they were starting to fill it up, which was impressive. Let's see what's going on. So I came to the conclusion that these imported queens that I got, the ones that are actually, you know, decent, so which is what, 2 3 out of 10. Not a great record. They react well to a nectar flow from the looks of it. Now, still bees about. So this super I put on last week because I wanted them to start drying it and cleaning it. Now it's still quite wet, so they haven't moved up here yet. But they did have a lot of space still in the second brood box. So just plug this here. So yeah, this brood box here is looking great. So they're still working on it. They've got 2 frames here which look like it's still relatively dirty comb. So I'm going to put this box over here. In fact, I'll move this a bit closer. And let's inspect the bottom box. So with these imported queens, I'm going to want to inspect these properly each time. I don't trust them like I trust my own colonies, just because I've had a bit of a nightmare with them. So what I want to do instead, so I'm just going to inspect them completely. It's only 2 boxes, so it's not too bad. Smoke them down a bit. Let's have a look at what we're doing with. Remember, when you're pulling a frame up, always choose the second or third frame, just in case the queen is on here. Because if you pull out the end frame, she may fall over the edge and you've lost your queen and they have to make another one. It's a nightmare for them. So that is full of nectar. So that means that the forage bees are coming in and dropping that nectar off in the brood area. But that's on the outside of the box. And if you think of a bee cluster or the brood area as like a rugby ball, if you have a single box, the rugby ball has to be rectangular, but they want to be vertical. So chances are, because it's got 3 boxes, or they're only using 2, it'll be quite a tall one like that. So these outside frames either side, so these 4 frames either side, I won't be too worried if these have nectar and honey in them, because they work their way up first and then they work sideways to fill the box that they've got. Right, so let's have a look at this. This has brood on it. It's cat brood. Can't see any eggs. So this queen has a luminous green dot, so she should be quite easy to see. Can't see any eggs. Okay. So as I mentioned before, the nectar flow has slowed a little bit. It started really strong when it was really hot and sunny, but it's been absolutely miserable for the past week and a half, and we're due even more rain and more cold. So I wonder if some of the flowers have decided that's enough and have closed up for a little bit. This is a capped frame of brood. It's a good capped frame of brood. This is one where they've recently emerged. Oh, and there's the queen. Where's the queen? So a good way to find the queen is find a frame where the brood has recently emerged from the cappings, because the queen prefers them because they're the cleanest cells. Because the bees, when they come out, they get something to eat and then they clean up their own cells, and these are the cleanest cells that you'll get. So the queen loves to lay in these. So a lot of the time you'll have capped brood on the outside and then lots of eggs in the middle. But there she is anyway. Happy as Larry. She's moving around a lot more and she seems to be a lot more plumped up than she was before, so that's good. Which are you? Oh, move out of the way, come on. There we go. Oh, let's have a look. Another full frame of cat brood. What I am seeing here is a queen cup. Yeah, queen cup, good. Needs to be careful with these imports, because I don't trust them not to swarm. It's a shame, really, because the queens beforehand were doing fine. They're just a little bit slow. Go on, away. Another frame of brood with some nectar in the middle. So there's some nectar here in the brood area. That's not great, but it tends to happen in the bottom box. Foragers come in, they spit out the nectar, and then they fly off again. It just means that the house bees, the ones that are doing all the housekeeping, they just need to get their act together and clear the space, really. It rarely happens on the frames that the queen is using, so it could be that because the queen is here, I think she was, they just haven't got to clearing that area. They're too busy clearing the other area instead. Oh, right. No queen cells, that's good. Another frame of brood. So yeah, this queen's doing quite well. I had a bit of a go at the breeder the other day. Right, plug that in. I'm happy with that. She's doing well. No queen cells. The reason I'm closing up is because I could see that they were going back into the nectar area. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smoke them down a bit, put the second box on. Give the second box a cursory look, but I can't imagine it being more than honey, to be honest, because it's quite heavy. Let's put this on. Now what I could do, if I wanted to, is put a queen excluder, another queen's in the bottom, put a queen excluder here, and then the bees will just focus on turning this into honey when the brood emerges. I could do that, but we're in 7th of July today, I think. And I tend to do that at the end of July, just because it'll give them 2 weeks for all the brood to emerge and then to fill any cells with honey then. And it means that until then, the queen has all of this space to move around in, so the chance of her swarming is reduced. Not nil, reduced. Right, I'll have a quick look in here. I can see that there's a few frames here that they're not using, like this one. They're busy cleaning it. As you can see, they've taken it down to foundation there. They're rebuilding it. Just have a quick look. Don't have to do a lot in here. This is heavy, so this has got lots of food in it. So that's full of nectar. What I think I might do, just to encourage them to, full of eggs, full of brood and nectar, loads of capped frames as well. What I might do is I might put that super in the middle between these two brood boxes. That means that the queen will have to cross the badlands, as it were, to get to this box, which will encourage the bees to clean it up. So I think I'm going to do that now. Another queen's in the bottom box, because she's a Dracena. So what I want to do is I want to close this up, put that super in between. Right. So when you're picking up boxes and you put them somewhere that's not on top of the roof, try and stick them on the side like that. It's a good way of storing them, just for a few minutes. And it means you can also look underneath for any queen cells as well. That's another option. So if you want to see any queen cells, sometimes, especially if the swarm cells, will be at the bottom. And you can have a quick look, have a nosy, see if anything's sticking out, but there's none there. But this box is minging, so I'm going to stick this on top, and then the bees will hopefully clear it out. Because the queen will want to move up here at some point, because it's warm. And the best brood is produced in warm areas, like this. I'm going to close this up. I'm happy with her. She's doing a good job. She's not the best. She's certainly not the worst. So, close her up. This is a queenless colony. I took the queen out last week because she wasn't doing very well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knock down any queen cells, and what I might actually do is combine her with someone else. Who do I want to combine her with? I might combine her with this group here. That saves me back. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this colony, knock down any queen cells, and then we'll combine them with this. It means that it'll bolster this colony a bit more, and hopefully it means that it'll be able to produce more honey. One big colony is better at producing honey than lots of small colonies. So this is never going to produce me any honey at all. If I combine that with her, we may get another super out of them. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'll just go and get the stuff I need. So I need newspaper, I need a queen excluder. So back in a second. So I've got me newspaper and queen excluder there. Right, let's go through here. So trying to find any queen cells. So these guys might not be happy to see me, to be honest, because I took the queen away, so they may be a bit grumpy. We'll see. Knock these down. Okay, so empty frame. I'm going to stand to the side just because the entrance is here and I'm going to keep getting bees on my back. I'm going to be a bit quieter just because there's people moving about over there and I don't really want to disturb them. That's nectar frame. 2 is a nectar frame. Yep, that is also a nectar frame. I'm not expecting any eggs because obviously I've taken the queen out. So look. Was expecting some larvae. Right, so we've got some capped brood here, and I can see a queen cell here. So shake them off. So as you can see, there's the queen cell there. She's vertical in position. That's how you know it's a queen cell. Horizontal means that they are worker cells or drone cells. Anything vertical like that is a queen cell. There is only the one on this frame, so I'm going to knock it down. Last check. Right, so as I said, I took the queen out last week just because she wasn't doing the right lot, and this frame has a load of queen cells as well. So we've got one here, and one here. So just take them down as best you can. Sometimes you need to use the hook of your J tool just to really squash them. It's a horrible thing to do, but it's for the best. Otherwise, what could end up happening is your colony that you combine this with goes off and swarms. You don't want them to swarm, especially if it's a good colony like that one seems to be turning into. Any more queen cells I can see? So there is one that's really hard to see. So if you get any holes in your frames, see if you can see through there. So inside there is a queen cell hidden right there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? That's how good the bees are at hiding queen cells. They dig a hole through the frame and they make a queen cell there. So that needs to be destroyed as well. I can't get my finger in there, so I'm just going to have to J-tool it, I'm afraid. But that is cleared of queen cells, I think. There's one there. Okay. See more. Right, next one. So this queen wasn't doing a right lot. She'd had quite a while to expand. Oh, ouch. Oi, oi, oi. Smoke yourself. And clear that away. Oh, been got again. Ouch. Oh, oi, oi, oi. Don't you sting me. Oh. Wasn't expecting that one. They can sneak up on you, I'll tell you that much. Oh. Oi, oi, oi. Smoke yourself. Ah. Got me on the other wrist as well. Ouch. Now this is my fault. The reason that's stinging me is my fault because I've taken the queen away, and oops, bees get grumpy when you take the queen away. So me doing this, I'm destroying all the queen cells. In essence, I'm making them think that they are hopelessly queenless, which means that they, in the wild, if they're hopelessly queenless, then it means that they are doomed. The colony is doomed. So it's understandable why they're grumpy. Whenever bees get irate like this, it's always good to try and figure out why they're upset with you. A lot of the time it's your fault and not the bee's fault. So there's another one trying to sting me. Go away, please. So this is another frame that's full of queen cells. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to knock these down. That's the other way around. I was trying to put the frames back in the way that they came out. Just because you've got peaks and troughs and you don't want to put two peaks next to each other. The frame. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 19 queen cells on that frame. See if I can see any more. So these can hide them sometimes. I think that's it. 19, wow. Right. There's a lot of brood going into this colony up here, so that's good. That'll really help bolster it. Another 2 queen cells there. Break them down. So you can tell emergency queen cells because they're usually in the centre of the brood. If it's along the edges, that is a swarm cell. Sometimes if you only get like 1 or 2 queen cells, then that's a supersedure cell. Usually emergency cells are just everywhere and higgledy-piggledy all around the middle, wherever they can find brood that's the right age. Swarm cells usually along the edge, and there's usually quite a lot of them. So that's a way of telling the difference between a swarm cell and a emergency cell and supersedure cell. That's it. Let's have a look at the last 2 frames, and then we'll combine you guys, which I'm sure you'll love me for. Nope, no queen cells there. Lovely brood frame there. And then, no, just pollen and nectar and stuff. Ah! Oh, they didn't like that one for some reason. My very manly screams are hopefully entertaining. So I'm going to put this back in. I know it's from the other side, but it was an empty frame anyway. And then what I'm going to do is prepare this one. There's a load of bees at the entrance here, so I'm going to have to sort that out before I put it in. So I'm going to have to sort that out when I put this on top. I'm going to have to shake them off the entrance into the box. But right now, put this over here. Oh, I don't need this roof anymore. Let's prepare this hive. Take the lid off. And crown board. Oh. And what we're going to do is we're going to smoke these down. Not particularly up on the top, but it's fine. Smoke them down, just try and get them away from the top. Stick this on here, another one here. Now the reason we smoke them down is because we don't know if they're coming up on top of the top bars and we don't want to hurt them. So put this on. So this is a bit of a warped one. Oops. It's fine. When that box goes on top, it'll flatten it out like that. But that's the problem with these plastic ones, is that they do get a bit warped. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to lift this box and put it on top. There's the handles there. Just make sure you know which way the frames go. You want the frames to go in the same direction. There we go. Right. I'll try and line that up as best you can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to knock those bees on that floor there, and we're going to try and knock them into the top of the hive there. Like that. And then we're going to smoke them. can you get? So there's a lot of bees on the side here, so I'm just smoking them up. As you can see, they're starting to make their way up by just smoking here. Starting to try and get into the hive. It's fine. What I wanted to do is get the lid on this as soon as I can, really. I don't want them to be any more distressed than they have to be. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this on. Try not to get any bees squashed. Right, put that on there, and then put this lid on. Yeah. So something that I did, as you can see all the foragers flying back trying to find their home now. So something that I did forget to do in there was that I didn't cut or make any slits in this newspaper. So I'm just going to do that very quickly now, if I can. So lift up. Just don't need a lot, just need some to just... Oh, watch out. Watch out. There we go. Just need a few slits, that's all. Right, now this colony will combine. So those bees, because they've got no way out, they will eat their way through this paper and make their way down into this. These are queenless, so it means that when they come down here, they'll start smelling that there's a queen here. They'll smell the queen pheromones, and they'll just be integrated into this colony, and it'll be one big colony. After that, being led by that buckfast. What I can do as well is keep that queen excluded there. It means the queen definitely won't go into this box. It means that will be a honey box. As for these foragers that are flying around here, a bit lost, don't worry about them. They will find their way into one of these other hives. Because their colony's gone, they'll be like, crap, I don't know what to do with myself, but they'll fly and find another colony that will accept them. Probably this colony, because it's right next door to it. So don't worry about them too much. Right, on to the next ones. So this here is the last of the imported queens. She was doing okay. I gave her another box just to keep her happy. It doesn't look like they've gone into it yet, so I may have to put it in between the two brood boxes like I did over there. But they're doing okay. Oh, again, they're not sparkling. Last time I saw her though, last time I went in here, she had quite a lot of brood that had been laid up. So hopefully we'll have a lot of capped brood, and that is the start of them turning into beasts. So yeah, I'm going to move this down here. Oh, they didn't like that. So what happened though was that one of these frames was stuck to the bottom of that. So I lifted the box up, and when I lifted the box up, that frame came up. Not happy with me. That frame came up, and then it dropped down, making it bang, and then that's just set off the alarm response, which is why all these bees are now flooding out, as you can see. This is what happens when you kick the beehive. Unfortunately, I'm wearing a sting-proof suit. I'd highly recommend them. So I'm just trying to be as calm as possible now. Let them get used to my presence, and hopefully they'll calm down a bit. Hopefully you're not being battered on the microphone by angry bees. So they seem to be over here and not over here. So I might start that side and work this way. Yeah, so this queen has a lot of space still. She's not on these frames yet. She might have just gone straight up into the upper brood box to start laying in and start making a colony in. So what happens is in nature, bees work their way down. So they start at the top where it's nice and warm, but as they start producing honey, the brood area starts getting pushed downwards. Oop, didn't like that. So let's give them another smoke, just see if we can calm down a bit. be there for now, so easily reachable. And I'll try and move this trip hazard if I can. Try and be careful, slow and gentle. So we can have a look. So that's full of brood, capped brood as well. I can see eggs. There's lots of eggs there. This whole frame is laid up as well. So this queen's doing okay. That's one frame. I wanted to see about 4 or 5 at this point, this time of year. It's 2. This is all. So this is freshly emerged. So what you can see is capped brood around the outside, and right in the middle here is full of eggs. Like I said, it's exactly where the queen wants to be when she sees that. Surprised she's not on this frame. This side's exactly the same. So freshly emerged brood around the middle is where all the eggs are, and you'll start seeing all the emerging bees on the outside. And again, this is exactly the same. So that side is capped. The whole thing's capped brood. But if you look on this side here, you'll see that there is capped brood around the outside, and all in here is eggs and larvae. So she's doing a really good job, this queen. I'm not seeing anything that's made me suspect that she's going to swarm. Okay, so we've no longer got any eggs. This is, again, the frame where it's freshly emerged brood. Oh, there's some eggs here. In this part here, around the top. So we're reaching the end of her brood area. She's not expanded fully yet. It's okay. The more bees that come out and emerge, the more the queen will be able to lay, and those larvae will be looked after. When you've only got a handful of bees, you can only look after a handful of larvae. So the bigger the colony, the more brood that the queen can make. And some of these bees, probably not this one as such, because I've already reached the end of her brood area. Some of these queens that I've had in the past, I don't think there's a limit. I think they could genuinely fill 4 or 5 boxes full of brood and still be looking for more. So I'm finding some queen cups. Found one queen cup over there. There's another one there. Oh, and there's the queen. Queen's right here in the corner. Ooh, she's gone. There she is, right in the corner there. I don't know if you can see that little green dot. So she's in this bottom box, and she's laying up. It's right there. So I'm going to have to put this frame back in very gently, so I don't hurt her. But it means that she's down here laying up, so that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these back to where they were before. Okay, put this back. Okay, so a way to push all your frames up tight is to act like a lever. So stick your hive tool down, try aiming for the lugs if you haven't got a dummy board like I've got. Push it down and just push like that, and as you can see, it pushes it all very tightly together. That is a tip I stole from Stuart Spinks from the Norfolk Honey Company, so that was not something of my own. Right. Okay, so I want to stick this on. So this queen has done an amazing job laying this up. She's not fully filled this one up yet. I can see that there's lots of space here. They are filling it with nectar and eggs. So this is laid up with eggs all here, and all this is honey. So she's doing a good job. I think that in a week or so they'll move up into the super. I'm not going to rush them though. Leave them to it. Yeah, she seems to be fine. Again, this colony is... Oh, right. Interesting. So, I've found some dead bees on top of here. And it looks like they've been chomped and peeled, as it were. That's usually a sign of wasps or a hornet. And it's on top of here, so it might be a hornet of some sort. There doesn't seem to be any that's hassling my hives at the moment, so I'm not too worried about it. But it is something to pay attention to. We do have an invasive species at the moment called the Asian hornet. And it's important to keep an eye out for them. I have done a blog post on this last year, I think it was. And what I might do is I might include a link into the description of this video if you're interested to learn more about the Asian hornet. So the bees are in the top box here. That's good. I can't remember if it was the honey super that I put on most recently or the box underneath. I think it was the box underneath. I think they were already in the honey super. So again, the alarm response has gone off. As you can see, that they are bubbling over. So this queen has lots of space. She has this honey super, which is for the most part... Oh, they are filling it actually. That's an empty frame. So for the most part, they are empty. And I've got a brood box here, which I think they were cleaning up last week. I'll have a quick look at it now. Ouch. So let's have a look at this box here. So I think I put this Mingian box on just to give them a bit more space. Go away. And they're cleaning it up. Don't think the queen has expanded up here yet. But they are cleaning it. You can tell when the bees have started cleaning frames because the bottom of the cells are shiny. There's some nectar in this one. The wind's picking up. Yeah, so the queen hasn't moved up here yet. I think she's happy enough downstairs. Well, these aren't particularly nice bees from what I remember. So what I'm going to do is be very careful, because I don't want to get stung again. I've lost my hive tool over there somewhere, so I have to use this one. Always keep 2 hive tools on you at all times. If you're forgetful like me, you'll lose a hive tool here and there. Right, so... As you can see, the bees are going for the smoker. That's not good. Grumpy bees. And what's happening here is all the flying bees who are coming out to pester me, flying back in, and I'm going, oh, the lid's off, and attacking me again. Ah, the joys. Right, lift this up. So what I'm wanting to see is 5 or 6 frames of brood. Can't see any tops of or cappings of brood cells, really. I wonder if the queen's still around. That's a nectar frame. It's got some honey in it. It's got some pollen in it. So we've got some capped brood. Cells are quite dark, but it's quite dark cone. So this queen's a year old. So she may have started slowing down. Oh, that looks like that's a virgin queen. What's a virgin queen doing out? I've just seen a virgin queen. There you are. What on earth is a virgin queen doing in here? I don't know if you can see her. Inside here is a virgin queen milling about. I showed you before what they'd look like. You can't really see very much because it's not a particularly clean thing, is it? So why on earth is a virgin queen in this hive? There are some reasons why that could be. First of all, this colony hasn't expanded the way I wanted it to. I wouldn't say it shrunk, but it's not expanded the way I wanted it to. I don't see any eggs at the moment. I'm only 5 frames in, so I'm not too worried about that right now. And the bees seem angry. So to me, that means that this is either a virgin queen from a swarm cell, and I've missed it, or this could be a supersedure queen or an emergency queen. So what my job is now is to find out where this queen's come from, and see if there's any more. So what I don't want her to do is to fly off with half the bees. That's interesting. There you are, I've got something to talk about on my short form video now. I thought today was going too easy. Right, go in there, go on, away. So, see if I can get a better picture of her. So see if you can see her. Can you see her there? So she isn't fully engorged as a mated queen. So that's a virgin queen for you. So I'm just going to stick you there for now, just out of the way, nice and safe, while I go through your colony. So I wasn't expecting that. So as you can see, the bees are not happy. They're quite angry. That is usually a sign of queenlessness, is a grumpy hive. Especially, ouch. Especially when there's a virgin queen about, because they don't want you to hurt her. Because if you hurt her, they're scuppered. So I'm just going to smoke myself again, because they seem to have done the alarm response. That queen is there. She's still happy as Larry. So I'm going to have to try and find that queen cell and make sure that there's no other queen cells about. So. Right. Found a bunch of queen cells, hang on. He's not going to like that. So, here we are. So this colony has made a load of queen cells. A load of queen cells. And they've torn them down. So, if you look here, these are prime examples of what I mean as torn down cells. So what they've done is, these were queen cells here, and they've ripped through the side to get the queen. So that means that this queen, there's another few here. There's a queen cell there. So what they've done is they've torn down this cell and gone straight through into the other cell there. So they've created a load of queen cells. And one queen's emerged, and they've torn the rest down. So what could have happened here is that queen could have come out and stabbed her stinger through these other queen cell walls and killed these queen cells, which means that the bees have just come and torn them down. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. So first of all, if we go from what we learned before, if there's lots of queen cells like that, it's not a supersedure cell. All these cells are along the edges of this frame. So because all these cells are along the edge of the frame, that to me tells me that this is a swarm queen. So this colony has swarmed, and these here are the cells that were left. So technically, once a queen swarms, the bee colony only lets one queen emerge, and then that queen will kill all the other virgin queens, and you'll just remain with half the colony because the other colony flew off with the swarm. In reality, what happens is, as queens emerge, they know that there's already a queen in the colony, and then they fly off with another half and another half and another half. So it means that you can end up with something called cast swarms rather than prime swarms. Prime swarms has the mated queen. Cast swarms have virgins in them. I'll have to use my tool. So one of the reasons that these bees are so angry is because they've got a virgin queen and they don't want me to hurt her. I've just removed her, so they're really pissy with me. But I need to find more, or all of the queen cells. What a fluke. Eh? Ah! Right in the fingertip. Oh! If I wasn't recording this video, I would be swearing. Just so you know. As you can see, these bees are not happy. I'll check these two now. This frame had a lot of food on it, but this frame, I can see some caps of capped brood. I'm not sure. So, in essence, what we found here is that this colony has swarmed. They've produced a queen cell. They've probably not expanded the way I wanted them to expand, just because the queen is left with half the colony, and there are more cells here. So, this is also interesting. So, I'll shake these bees off, and we'll figure out more of this story as well. So, the story of this hive is that we've had two queens emerge here. So there's one emerge there and another emerge here. So we've had two queens emerge from here. So it's lost at least one. Oh no, there's another queen cell as well that's emerged. So we've had three queens emerge. So that means that we've lost the prime swarm and we've lost two cast swarms, which is why this colony isn't that big anymore. So that is sad. Just seeing if there's any more queen cells. But that means that this colony is swarmed now. All the other queens have probably gone or have been killed by this virgin queen. So all I need to do now is close it up, really. I'm going to check this last frame just to see if there's any more information we can glean from this. Hopefully I won't get stung. So there's more queen cells on this, but they've been torn down by the side. Shut this off. Lost another queen. So this is another queen cell that's emerged here. See? That one's been torn down. As you can see, it's been torn down from the side. The bottom's still intact. But that is still there. And we have another queen cell here. Chances are that this is a dead cell. Yeah. So it's got a queen in it, but it's probably dead. So there you are, that's what we've figured out. So we've gone through this. I've randomly seen a virgin queen. That is a very hard thing to do. It's not normal for me to be able to see virgin queens, because I am a bit blind when it comes to that sort of stuff. But we found a virgin queen. We've investigated the hive to try and figure out why there's a virgin queen. We've found that there's some swarm cells that have emerged. More than one. There's lots that have been torn down, but we found more than one cell that has emerged. So it means that this colony has swarmed. It's swarmed multiple times, so there's probably swarms that have made a home in some of the woods around here. It is a nature reserve, so there'll be a lot of places for these swarms to be in. So what I'm going to do is, this colony doesn't need to be looked at for another 2 weeks. It doesn't need all this space on it, but I've started to all finish in essence. There's food frames in here, and these bees will need some food. So I'm just going to close it up. I'm going to put this queen back in before I forget. So here she is. Don't know if you can see her. So that is a virgin queen. She used to go out and get mated. Right then, you. In you go. Seems quite friendly, actually. Let's hopefully. Oh, hope it passes on to her young. Oh, I'm going to tempt fate and let you guys have a good look at her. So, if you look at her markings, you can see that she's a bit of a mongrel. So she's got the black lines everywhere. This is from a buckfast type of queen. Oh, she's been attacked by another bee. Go away. So this is from a buckfast line. If you look, she's got yellow with a black tip, so a buckfast line. And she's got these lovely hairy legs. So she's actually a really good queen, this one. I hope she goes out and gets mated well. Right, I'm going to put her in her colony. Go on, in you go. She doesn't want to let go. Come on, in you go. There you go. She's in the top there now. So she'll make her way down. She'll ingratiate herself with the rest of the bees. And then hopefully she'll go out and fly and get mated. Right, let's plonk these back on and close this up for 2 weeks. Ugh. After 2 weeks, if there's no eggs, then I'll see if I can find her again. And if I can't find her, then I'll put a frame of brood in. And if they start making queen cells on that frame of brood, then it means that she has unfortunately died in the process of getting mated, which is actually a really common occurrence. Right, so we're going to have a look at this. So this is probably going to be my new breeder queen. She's done really well. She's produced a colony over there. The only problem with her is that she's tried to swarm. That's the only issue. Other than that, they're doing great. This was a particularly minging box, and they have already started filling it up. That's good. Ooh. Can't imagine this guy's wanting to swarm again. I've lost my hive tool. Go get it. So I have some interesting news. It turns out where I am at the moment, the people who own this land, they are wanting to move me to a new area. So it's in the middle of a wildflower meadow, but they're wanting to use this area that I have this apiary for some sort of memorial area. So in the next, few months, I may end up having a new place to call home. So I'll be using that experience to show you guys how to move colonies. Unfortunately, if you're going to do that, you need to have another place to put them, because the bees need to get used to a new location before you bring them back here. Otherwise, all the bees will just fly back here. And if it's a memorial place, then it's not particularly nice for people to think longingly of lost ones and then get attacked by bees. So I can see loads of eggs. This hive is absolutely full of eggs. I'm not going to do too much with this one just because I've already taken her away from her hive, so she already thinks that she's swarmed, and she's already doing an amazing job of filling up these cells with eggs. And last thing I want to do is cause any damage to her. So all of these frames seem to have brood on them. Capped brood as well. But yeah, this queen's doing great. Not seen anything that's worth worrying about. Yeah. Put them back. Oh, sod it. I'll have a look one more time. One more frame. Can't hurt, can it? Come on, he says, and then immediately gets bees crawling over his hands. They're not stinging me. They're just interested. Which is understandable. Wowee. Full of larvae and eggs. This queen is amazing. Right, love. I've pestered you enough. Let's close you up. you remember what I said? Just tighten it up a bit. Right, okay. I'll put this box on top as well. So the bees are cleaning this up. They are on these frames here in the middle. That's good. This is a really ming roof. I need to give that a good clean at some point soon. I thought the rain would get rid of it, but clearly not. Next. So I think my smoker is about to die. That's good. Good timing. Last 4 colonies. Don't really need to do a right lot with those 2 over there. I don't think I need to do much with this one either. Oh, whoa, bees in the roof. I have a feeling I might need to put another box on these guys. So this colony just keeps growing and growing and growing. What I don't want is for these guys to swarm, because there's a lot of boxes to go through. It's also worrying that it's almost at my height. So let's just have a quick look at this frame here. What are we looking at? Yeah, that's got lots of nectar in it. It's good. It's not full yet though. Although the box is heavy. They're working from the outside in, strangely. Right, so look at you. What are you like? So you've got some brood in you. Here's the queen is laying you up. Emerging brood as well. Cool. Lots of honey as well. Oh, this is a heavy frame. Lots of capped brood and honey. Just do a little cursory. This is full of honey and a tiny, tiny patch of brood. So I reckon that they are pushing the queen downwards with the honey that they're collecting, which is fine. But we want her to go down to the bottom boxes. But this is pretty jam-packed. Oh, bloody hell. Oh. Oh, I think I can see a swarm cell. No, just brood. That's fine. Right. This is one of 3 brood boxes. I think the middle one was a dirty one that I've left them to clean up. I'm not expecting them to have filled this box as well. This looks pretty good. Just take 1 frame out, 2 frames. They've got space, so I'm not too worried about that. I've seen some brood, but I've not seen any eggs yet. Oh, there's a frame of brood and nectar. Capped frame of brood. See what I mean? The bigger the colony gets, the more brood that they can produce, and can be well looked after, because they've got more bees to do the jobs that we need. Still not seeing any eggs. This is a lot of nectar. And this next frame is capped brood. Oh, lovely frame of capped brood there. Some queen cups. So this could either be that they're just reaching a point where they're just practicing, because there's a lot of bees in here. This is a huge colony. So the next frame is full of capped brood as well. So these guys are really full of capped brood right now. If I wanted to do a split, this colony would probably be fine with that. Probably would barely notice the loss of bees and brood and food. Let's go into the next box. Oh my god! Oh, that must have some frames of honey in them. My god. Right, so they've gone onto this box and they've started cleaning it up. They're doing a really good job of cleaning it. So there's a lot of areas. There's there's areas here where they've taken it back to foundation and they've decided that the foundation was dirty, so they've started clearing it up. In fact, If you look at that, they've completely chopped away at the frame just because it must have been particularly gross and they weren't happy with it. Don't worry too much if you see a colony like this. If you see a hole like that, they will start making their own comb. Now, the only time to worry about that, which they've already started actually, if you can see here. So if you look here, the comb is lighter here because they're starting to draw it out again. That's cool. So the only time to worry about frames like that is if both frames either side of that are also with massive holes, gaping holes in them. So they've cleaned this frame, so you can probably see, I don't know if you can actually, there's a lighter area here than here. That's because they've cleaned this bit up here and they've produced the wax and fixed it all up. So they seem to be happy with this frame. So happy that in fact that they've started producing nectar and putting nectar in there. So that means that they've finished cleaning that frame up. So they're doing great. What I'm looking for is eggs. I want to see some eggs. That top box, that top brood box, was full of capped brood. I didn't see any eggs in the frames that I took out and had a look. And we've got loads of eggs. This whole frame has eggs and larvae. Wow. And the larvae looks really healthy, so there's lots of food surrounding the larvae. So I don't know if you can see that, but the larvae in those cells are almost swimming in food. They are doing really well in feeding this larvae. Don't worry about the wax though that I've just damaged. They'll fix that up in seconds. I've not taken anything away, so they'll just reform it around where they're supposed to be. But yeah, so we've got eggs. We've got lots of space still. So this brood box is still empty for the most part. We've got loads of food. So that's brood, food and space all seen to. Everyone seems happy. Don't seem to be jumping at me when I'm doing this, so that's good. Yeah, these bees are pretty good. So to me, if it's a choice between, it's going to be a choice between this queen and the one over there to decide which one is going to be my new breeder queen. I think it's going to be that one because she's a bit easier to get to than this one at the moment. But we'll see. Things may change. Oh my god! Watch out, bees. Right, what I mentioned before about wasps and hornets attacking the hive. I just saw a wasp flying in there. There it goes. You see it? See it there? Probably not. So it's not that time of year yet. So in autumn, wasps become an absolute bloody nightmare. But it's clear that maybe they are starting to find colonies to possibly attack later on in the year. Has my smoker died? That's more ash than smoke, but it'll still work. Job in this one is to see if there's a laying queen. So a virgin emerged a few weeks ago. So it's now time to see if there's a queen in here. This colony is where that other queen's from, the one that I keep talking about being a breeder queen. These guys were doing amazing. Come on, there we go. So look at that for honey. That's absolutely full. This whole super is absolutely jam-packed with honey. That's good. Benefit of having little brood breaks like that when you get a new queen is that the bees can focus on producing honey. Sometimes the problem is that you just don't get any refreshment of new bees. So that's jam-packed with honey as well. What I might do is move this across. See if they can get more interested in that frame. Try that frame out a bit more. So they're not filling up this box yet. So they've got space, they've got the food. Ugh. This is another box that I put on. Yeah, they've started filling this with honey as well. So you can see the dark comb, but if you look around the outside, they've put some fresh comb on there. Because as they've gone cleaning it, they've gone, oh, this is disgusting, this bit. And taken that away and they've produced some more comb around it. So bees are really good at cleaning comb. Really good. Spotless. They're probably better than you and I are. Right, so this bottom box, I want to see eggs somewhere. That's what I want. I don't particularly care about seeing the queen, I want to see eggs. If I see the queen, it's a bonus. Of course I say that, and then I always end up looking for her, but I want to see eggs, or capped brood. So that there, oh, is a heavy frame of nectar. So I'm going to shake that off. It's over here for now. So I'm just going to break it up. Oop, excuse me. So these bees are lovely as well. So these aren't trying to sting me or anything. They're just milling about doing the job. So that's nothing yet. Should really give these guys a proper floor, but I'm using a Swienty roof, which can also be used as a floor. The sun has just gone in. Perfect timing here. Nothing yet. So the queen cell was on this frame. I've got a little green X where I made a mark where the queen cell was. You see that? Little green X there. So that means that the queen cell should be here still. Because bees don't tend to tear them down straight away. So we've got some torn down cells here. So we've got a few. That's fine. Right, let's have a look. I want to see some eggs. I can't see any eggs yet. So again, we don't have to worry yet. I'll give it another week if I don't find the eggs. It's been particularly crap weather the past 2 weeks, so for her to go out and get mates in that time, I'd be amazed. Yeah, still not seeing any eggs. So what we can do is, in a week or so, if there's still no eggs, I'll put a frame of brood in here. And they can produce another queen if they don't have one. But if they don't produce another queen, then it means that they have got one, she just hasn't been mated yet. And that is how you tell if a hive is queen right. Nothing. No, so I don't think there's any eggs in here yet. That's upsetting, but it's fine. I like to have my hives queen right. The bees like to be queen right as well. So what I want to do is I want to leave it for now. Close these guys up. And then next week, sorry. There's a bee gone mad. If there's no sign of a queen, so no eggs or anything like that, I'll take a frame of the queen over there and put it in here, and we'll see if they produce queen cells the week after. If they don't, it means there's a queen in there. If they do, then what I can actually do is just recombine that queen again. But we'll see. Because I'm going to be moving spots, I kind of want to reduce the number of colonies that I have here. So you probably may see me combining more colonies here than usual. If I don't particularly like the cut of a jib of a queen, I might give her away. But what I'll be doing is I'll probably be combining a lot of these colonies together. so they become big, massive ones. But also, they're a lot easier to move when it comes to the time to move them. Right, last two. So these are the last two hives that I've got here. Last time I checked, they were laying, so they were laying queens, so the queens were in here. I did not know whether or not they were laying worker brood or not, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm checking to see that. So I'll top these off. Right, what we're wanting to see is we want to see some worker brood. It's been a few weeks now since I found them laying, so they should have started capping the brood that's in here. Right, so we have lots of nectar. I may also give them a super if they look like they're starting to get a bit full, because they are filling all the frames now, so they have grown. Let's have a look. There we go, worker brood straight off the bat. Amazing. And she's laid up every single one of those cells. She laid up the other side as well. Yeah, fully laid up. So this queen is doing great already. Let's have a look at next frame. Yeah, so I don't particularly need to look any further. This queen's doing great. What she does need is space. So she's figured out her new superpower, which is laying a bazillion eggs a day. So what I need to do now is encourage that as much as I can. So what I want to do is I want to stick another brood box on top and let her bees clean that up, and then hopefully she will start laying it up, and maybe she'll produce a bit of honey for me this year. We'll see. Right, I'll get a brood box. So this is a box that's particularly minging. The frames are gross. Again, now I've got a new shed, I'm hoping that this won't be a problem in the future, but as you can see, that's gross. Mould, stuff like that, some dead bees in there. Just leave them to it, and they'll clean that up in no time. And they'll probably start laying it up as well. If this queen has anything to go by. So that's good. Right, probably don't need to go into these guys for a week or so, 2 weeks, so they'll be fine. Right, let's have a look at this one. So there's bees coming in and out, so that's a good sign. There's bees in there. They are coming out through the top. Break the seal there. So what they've actually done is they've attached some frames to the crown board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along here. Just make sure that it's not attached to the crown board's not attached to the brood box. What we try and do to stop it from sticking to these frames and where they drop again, like we had over there, and have the bees go into the alarm response, etc. What we're going to do is we're just going to put fingers here and a thumb here, and we're just going to twist it ever so slightly, and that's just going to break that little wax seal. And there we are. So the reason that they're doing that is because they are absolutely jam-packed with honey. I can see loads of honey cappings here and there. So these guys will need some space very soon. So I might give these guys some space as well after today. So that even the outside frames are getting nectar on them. So yeah, these guys need some space. What we need to know first though is some worker cappings. This is off. Oh wow, look at that. That's lovely. That's a lovely bit of capped worker brood. And on the other side, beautiful. Oh wow, 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 wow. Look at that. Now there is a queen cup there. So they are complaining. I think they need some more space. So what we'll do is we'll give them a bit more space. And there's a wasp. Can you see the wasp there? Right here. So the wasps at the moment are trying to get any sort of sugar that they can get their hands on. it's coming to the end of the wasps' lifetime, so wasp nests don't tend to live very long. They live from spring until around about August, beginning of August, and then after that the queen dies in the nest, and all the adult wasps are kind of left twiddling their thumbs without knowing what to do. Adult wasps eat pure sugar, so they go after carbohydrates. So there's loads of eggs here. So that is why they go after your picnics and stuff like that. It's the young that they have that... Oh, there's the queen. Right there. Lovely queen. It's the young of the wasps that need protein, so that's when they go after insects like greenfly and stuff like that. So when the queen dies and they're no longer producing larvae, the adults don't know what to do themselves, so they go off and cause mischief in essence because they've got nothing better to do themselves, and they need food, so they go after your picnics. They go after anything sweet and sticky, anything with sugar really. So you'll see them raiding beehives and nucleus colonies, weak nucleus colonies, to get to the honey. And they go in there, they run in, they've got proper pincers. So if you think of a bee mandible as like a hand, because it's quite blunt, well, wasps are like scissors. And they go in, they kill the queen straight off the bat, and then they start murdering as far as they can until they have free reign to take all the honey. But that's not something that I need to worry about right now. The bees are doing a pretty good job of defending themselves. That wasp only got in because I lifted the lid up. Right, so these guys are going to get some new frames. So I'm going to put this over here. Whoop. Okay, so one's down here. So this box isn't as minging as the other one. It's not great. It's got a load of slug slime on it, but the bees can clear that up. Give them this frame of foundation if it fits. Oh, a bit tight, but it's fine. There we go. There we go. Right. So that is a lot of space now for them to deal with. They can clean that up at the leisure and sort out those frames. They've got a lot of brood that's about to hatch, so they needed the space. They started making some queen cups to complain about it, so hopefully now they'll be happy enough to chill out and just do some bee things, such as producing honey and brood. But yeah, these guys are doing excellent, really good, much better than the imported queen that was her mother. Anyway, right, so that's me done for the day. Not much has happened, just normal inspections, fortunately. We had a nice little combination of two hives over there. We had a look at some of the nukes that I made, see how they're doing. Found two dead, sadly. And a virgin queen randomly walking in one of my hives, and that led me to do an investigation, and we found that it had swarmed a few times. But yeah, it's been an interesting day anyway. Right, I'm going to go home, going to shower, and go spend some time with my daughter. I hope you guys had a really nice time, and I hope you're safe and well. Bye-bye.